Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I would say the final video.
It definitely will be the final video, Rob.
On the BMW that was rat eaten out of Copart. This one we bought as a runner and a driver, for those of you that remember, and it turned up and it had been attacked inside by rats. I'll include the picture now. And as you can see, obviously we've had to replace that seat. Also, in the last video, Chris replaced the complete back panel after actually giving the car a pull. We have put the back bumper on there because it's off to the paint shop, and we have noticed that that exhaust is actually fired forward there, that side.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we are going to have to replace the back box.
It did have a slight indent in it.
It did.
Anyway, didn't it?
That's something I can arrange why this car is off at paint.
Yeah.
Also, Chris has just popped in there 2 parking sensors. They're black, obviously, and this bumper we bought is used, so they can be coloured up whites there as well.
Yeah.
The outside of the tailgate's got to be painted. The inside is all done. You've done that, mate.
Yeah.
And
we have got to get that panel at some point.
we have, because we haven't got that.
No, and Rob didn't have it, did he?
No, Brentwood Autos have sent us the actual carpet though, and this spoiler is the original.
Yep.
We're going to be putting that back on, but unfortunately it is chipped all down that end, so we'll be getting that redone, even though Chris was quite a fan of leaving the black one on there.
It looks all right, doesn't it?
It does look all right, to be fair.
With the black roof rails, I think it looks quite, but yeah, we'll get it done.
It does actually look good. So this one's a bit heavy for the truck. Everything's on there all tight. I'm going to chuck the tray plates in, and this one's going nice and local, round to the paint shop, and they should be pretty quick with it, I'd like to think.
Yeah.
You probably did notice as well that I've actually washed this car, and this damage here, who calls that, Chris?
The Pixies did, Rob.
I done that, didn't I? So when I was unloading it off the back of a lorry, unfortunately I opened the door and the car rolled forward and it scraped, but I was a bit devastated about that. But it wasn't until I washed this car. You can actually see, can you see that now, Chris? There's actually already a big dent in that door there. So it's not the end of the world that I've done it. So let's get this round the paint shop, stop waffling on. As soon as it gets back, we'll pick up and we get this one finished off. Welcome back to the channel and a new video, and the final video on the BMW estate car. This was beautiful the day it arrived, apart from the fact it had been eaten by rats and it was a non-runner. Now, we never moan about it. Everybody's job is difficult in an industry. Everybody has their struggles. And this one's come back, and we're not going to roll back on it. We're not happy with it at all. The boot lid and the paintwork down this side of the car looks, you can see it, the camera don't lie, it looks good. But you can also see that that back bumper looks, I'm going to say, almost blue to that white. It looks a
different colour, doesn't it?
Now, we know that you do get a tone out on a plastic bumper.
You do, yeah.
You do get a shade out.
Yeah.
But that is actually a country mile, and it's not really acceptable.
We can't let it go like that, can we?
You can see though, up this side of it, Chris, it looks okay.
Yeah.
But down there, it just doesn't look right, does it? And the other side,
it's the same.
I'm going to say, I mean, the boot lid come out lovely. It just doesn't look right. It don't matter what angle you look at it at.
No,
it's
I think
not
it
right.
actually, the camera, it actually looks worse in reality than on the camera, and the camera looks pretty bad.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have spoken to him, and he's absolutely fine and said, not a problem. Do you want to get on and do your bits? So we've got the spoiler in there. That can go back on. Fit up all of the tailgate and get all of that. Because you can see the tailgate's absolutely fine. It is just, I mean, even there, the bumper looks fine. But don't forget, we've had the side of this car painted as well because of the damage on the driver's door. But he did say we can crack on and get it fitted up. So I guess
that's
we'll put it in the workshop and make a start on it. We've got BMW arriving with a load of the parts that we need for it. And we should literally have everything. Let's put it in the workshop before it starts pouring it down, mate.
All right, mate.
Straight into it here, and Chris starts on replacing that top spoiler, and quickly learned as soon as he stuck it on that one of the screws was just spinning round and it wasn't tightening up, so he actually had to strip the original black spoiler and use the inside of it with our white bit on the top. Once he'd done that, he got it fitted and it was absolutely fine. You got a high level brake light in there to plug in, and I think that is it. And then straight onto the inside, you've got loads of little caps and bolts that go underneath the spoiler, of course a bit of wiring. So of course we checked this one out using Car Vertical, and it is such a shame on this car that yes, it is a category S and it has sustained structural damage. Now you guys know we've pulled out the back panel and replaced it with a genuine new one from BMW, and it's all fitted back on its original marks. You'd never know, but of course, because that panel had to be cut out and replaced and it had to have a little pull, it is a category S structural damage. Now with the car vertical check, of course, it checks for theft, it checks the odometer, you got overview on there, financial and legal, damage, as we said, natural disasters, emissions and taxes, specs, ownership. So that comes up with there you go, one ownership record for this vehicle, so that's a one owner from new, and of course your handy timeline. There is only 5 records in there, and they will be MOT services, the date it was registered. So it registered 11/2020, a very late 20 car, and then inspected on the 11th 23, that will be its first MOT. And then the 8th 2024 there, you've got damage detected, and of course that is the category S. This check does check for damaged, finance and stolen. I want to thank Car Vertical once again for the continued support on the channel. Benefit from a nice little discount off your check. Use the code been displayed up on screen throughout this check, or hit the link in the description where it will automatically apply your discount. And with the top half of it done, he moves on to the bottom half. So you've got the 2 inner lights there, the inner lights that go on the boot lid, and then you've got the number plate lights in there, the camera, the button to open the boot, everything is there. And then of course you've got that huge black cover with your 2 interior lights on there as well, with your boot latch. Literally all of it had to be stripped to go to paint, and now it is a case of building it up. So now that's done, onto the glass open. There's a couple of little bits of trim to stick in now, and I think we're there with it. Popped out to get a bit of tracking done there, and Chris did not hang about, and mate, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, it looks all right, doesn't it?
There is something in here though that you've stumbled across that you're not quite happy about. So this I did get off of eBay, got this off of eBay, and this come from Rob down at Brentwood Autos.
Yeah, it's got these 2 devices and a little wire here, but we've got nothing on our car that plugs into, Rob. But you can see a little cutout in that carpet there that's not that side, so clearly it goes in there. But I've took this out, I've bent that up out of the way. We haven't got any wiring, so it's probably an optional.
Yeah, what do you reckon?
Load
sensors?
I don't know. What else could it be?
Obviously that void is in there for those motors to sit in, or whatever they may be. And it's
a bit of an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah, mind you.
Does it tell it that
they're almost like scales, aren't they?
I don't know, it's a bit of an odd one there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But someone might know what they are.
So far so good. Everything is all going back together exactly as it should. We now need to move on to the bumper. We know that there's a ripped loom in the bumper with 1 PDC. In fact, Chris has already pulled in the broken bumper. All of the grills in this bumper are actually toast, they're broken. Fortunately though, the fog light isn't, so we can reuse that. The parking sensors are okay, but this one here was ripped out, so we need to sort out that. And of course this grille was completely missing, but we have ordered all of those grills from the dealer, and they are due in any moment. So I guess Chris is going to repair that wiring, sort the parking sensor out. I'll chase up the bits and we'll just continue on with it. Moving on to the bumper. Now, luckily there was only one broken parking sensor that was completely missing off this, and it was ripped off the loom. So we've just got one plug to do on the wiring loom there and one parking sensor to find. I'm hoping that I have got that parking sensor. I think Chris pulled the short straw there, if any of you have actually put these bumpers back together, because
yeah, they were. I think the cold doesn't help. No. Everything's hard and brittle, isn't it? But yeah, those new what would you call
trims?
Them? Yeah, trims, I guess. Yeah, blanks. They were really difficult to get in the clip home there, but they're in.
Tough to get in that one. I did say, how did you get that in, Chris? Because you can see it's hooked in now. Yeah. It's hooked in there.
In the middle.
You actually had to bend it in the middle,
yeah, that's right,
to get it in there. But that bumper now,
yeah, so
we can tip it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's looking really good. But before we put that on, there is a couple of other little bits in there.
We've got back seat, haven't we?
Yeah, do you know what? I can't wait to mention that in the numbers. Someone really did us a favour there with that, didn't they? Because they had it listed. I mean, all this will come out with a little bit of moisture and a little bit of steam. All of these marks will come out. But we'll get into that in the numbers. We've also got quite a lot of Well, we've got side skirts. Go
Yeah,
on, mate,
well, I
sorry.
think we're going to need it turned round to do, because it's going to have to go on the lift for all the under trays. So I think we may as well, while we can get the doors open this way, we get the back seat in,
Yeah.
get this all buttoned up, then we drive it out, turn it round, bring back in, up, underneath.
And then just continue on with it.
Yeah.
It is, it's just go, go, go when you get one of these cars, and they've been in so many pieces, don't you? I mean, the back seat, isn't it lovely to have that now? And I'm going to say it, we definitely got lucky, because it's the black leather with the white trim, and our one was all eaten all the way through here by a rat. It had eaten a hole in it. Have we still got it somewhere?
It's in the back. It's in there.
Right, I'm going to quickly show that, because not everyone that watches the videos does see part 1 and part 2, but let's show you that back seat. That's the extractor fan, not the light. My bad. So there's the old tailgate, obviously. There is the carpet, and then look at that seat. I mean, even if you repaired it, you wouldn't ever want to sit on that seat, would you? It's absolutely minging. Anyway, let's continue on, like Chris said, and start getting the rest of this car put back together. We're getting near now, so with that new back seat, we've got a couple of seat belts to do up that we previously took out. There's swab on the corner of the seat that we previously removed to check for wiring, and once we got them out, the back seat in, that's done. Both wing mirror glasses were completely missing, so of course now we've had to do those as well. Chris is currently playing a game of, they might be for this and they might be for that, and the only reason for that is when we bought this car, they all come in this.
They did.
The insurance company had already taken this car apart to assess it and removed everything, and they sellotaped, masking taped the back bumper back on the car.
That's right.
We didn't even know when we bought the car that it had previously had an assessment and been removed. So unfortunately, it is now, we've got to go through and work out what went where. And what Chris will do here, I'm going to explain it, is he'll look for the bolt with the same size washer head.
Size washer, aren't they?
So you can see there is a bit of a mark there where there was a washer. So he'll work out what ones go there, and then so on and so on. But the mirror glasses, again, looking forward to doing these in the numbers, because they were both broken and they were sellotaped on. But that is both mirror glasses replaced. And finally, let's get a torch, because I can't actually see in there, sorry. That new back seat, all in there, all clipped down. I can't wait to give this car a nice clean and a valet, and definitely a proper sanitise inside. We're now going to move on and actually fit up this rear bumper. It's getting exciting now, isn't it? Remember what this car looked like when it arrived. And look at it now, it really, really has come on. Let's move on and get this bumper fitted. And putting on that rear bumper and straightening up that exhaust, and you can see the car is just coming together now. It really does look nice. So the back bumper straight on, couple of bolts in there, in with the back lights. Again, they got a couple of bolts holding them in, 2 at the back and then 1 in the side. And then you've got those 2 covers you can see just in front of the lights there. They had to go on over the top of the locks for the tailgate. With them on, let's get it off the ramp, turn it around, get the side skirts on. I reckon secretly he's a bit gutted. It was only a week ago he called dibs on an old Volkswagen Passat. And this is done.
But we've already got people asking about the Passat,
We have,
haven't we?
but
So,
look, suits you, sir. This would have suited you.
Yeah, nice car.
It's a beautiful car.
Nice
It
car.
really is a nice, lovely bit of kit, and starting to really get there now. Now we've the back bumper's all on. We know this has got to go back to the paint shop. And you would have seen, we did just sort out that exhaust pipe. It needed just a little tweak over, and Chris held a tube up that one, while I stuck a tube up this one, and just bent it over slightly. Someone's going to say that's still 1 mil out, but trust me, it's bang on, it's perfect as it is. We do not have a back number plate for this, so I am going to quickly whip over to Show Plates, go out and get a couple of plates for it. And Chris has got the joys of putting all of those under trays back on. Of course, all of those under trays had to come off because this car went up on the jig. So I guess he'll get all of them fitted back on. And then I can get this one out for a road test and
Yes,
maybe,
mate. Yeah.
I don't know how much MOT it's got. I'm going to quickly do a check on it now, see how much it's got.
Yep.
And leave you to do that, mate, and I'm going to go and grab the
Alright.
plates. Do you need anything else while I'm
I
out?
think we've got it all. We're done.
A cup of coffee and a day's takings from McDonald's would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I think
go.
we're done, mate.
All right, mate. Up in the air and the under tray. So you got the very front one goes on first, then you skip the middle one and stick the next one on, and then you go back and stick the middle one on after. Of course that makes sense because the middle one goes over the top. That's the one you remove to do an oil service. Once they're on, you've got 3 under trays on the back there, so 1 right across the back and then the 2 along the side here, and of course all of the bolts for the side skirts are underneath there that we previously just put on. I think this car is completely finished. And why Chris was getting all them trays on there completely finished, of course I went and got the number plates. And walking round to the back of this car,
Looks nice, Rob, doesn't it?
Chris, it's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's come out really nice.
It
Really
is
pleased.
a proper lovely bit of kit, this
Yeah.
is. The only downside is, of course, it is going to have to go back to the paint shop, isn't it? But it's not the end of the world
No.
for those blends. I suppose you're getting a bit of that glue off, aren't
Yeah.
you? I am, it's obviously dusk now, where it's dark, but I'm going to take this for an MOT first thing in the morning. I've checked it and it ran out last month.
Right.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to whip this out in a minute and
Yeah,
I'm going
mate.
to take it home tonight.
Yep.
Also, that'll give it a good road test as well, and we've checked all the lights, everything seems to be fine. So we'll see how we get on in the morning at the MOT and we'll be back in the morning. It's not this often I'll start this early when the sun's not even come up yet. Well, what sun? It's horrendous this weather, but we had the first test this morning over at the test centre, so it's going to take about 35-40 minutes. I'm going to go and sit in a nice warm office. Just keep my fingers crossed it's going to pass. That'll be fine. That car drives lovely. We know what time it is when we are at the car wash. Now, I've given this car a rinse off previously, but look how nice it does come up. Actually, I think I just rinsed off the wheels, didn't I, before I brought it in the workshop. They was covered in brake dust, but with a good wash, it really is coming up nice. But you can even see on this bit of time lapse how far out that back bumper is. It just looks terrible, doesn't it? I can't wait to drop it down the paint shop, get it rectified and get it sold. Nice early start for me, but it paid off because I was the first one in the MOT garage, then I was the first one in the car wash.
Yeah, it looks well, Rob.
Does look well, but what a shame about that rear bumper.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it in the video now. We're just about to finish this video, crunch the numbers, and this is going straight back around the paint shop.
Yeah.
He's told me to drop it off.
Yeah.
So this will be rectified very, very quickly. Yeah, it looks good, mate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And also, that Maserati's over there, you've just watched the video the couple of days before. That's going to the paint shop today as well. So let's go inside, mate, I think, and crunch the numbers.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
happy with that?
Yeah, it looks
Have a look
well.
at it in here now. It's just had a quick valet.
Yeah.
And I got them to get the anti-back chemical and actually
yeah,
wipe all the seats over, steering wheel, gear stick, all the door panels. It's actually come up really nice, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
drive well, Rob.
It does, drives very, very nice.
Yeah, good.
Right, let's
All right,
get in
mate.
there and do it.
Yep.
People keep mentioning that I don't put a joke in the end.
Yeah, you'll have to come up with a couple for Christmas week.
It was never actually meant to be a thing. It was just every now and then, but people
Yeah.
expect it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I know lots of Tony Blackburn jokes, but
Right, okay.
I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Right, the numbers on the BMW. I was quite shocked. I think it's all right, Chris.
I don't think it's come out bad. Right.
It's become a religion now. Sorry, Chris does read out the
Because I
numbers.
can read my own writing better than you can.
You certainly can. Go on, mate.
It's a bit of my own shorthand, isn't it?
Yeah, no
right,
problem.
A purchase price, £9,000 plus the fees. That came out at 9,777.60. Then we got rear panel, genuine from the dealer. Came in 3 bits, but we sent one back we didn't need. That was £161.14 and £116.67. Comes to a total of £277.81.
Not bad, is it?
No, and nice to work with, isn't it?
Because it's new, yeah.
Rear bumper, £120. Then we've got rear panel plastic trim outer.
Sorry, Chris. The rear bumper come from eBay, And it was quite local, wasn't it? Maidstone.
Yeah.
Go on.
Then we got rear panel plastic trim outer, and that's the bit that fits to the back panel on the outer of the car, behind the bumper, if that all makes sense. £40. Aluminium crash bar, £100. Rear light, £80.
eBay again.
Tailgate with glass, you probably want to mention this.
That did come from Rob down at Brentwood Autos, and I mean, just Google Brentwood Autos, because I know I'm going to forget to put their link in there, but absolutely outstanding, lovely people, and just go above and beyond to help you out. And of course, they're in Essex, so if you're near them and you want some bits, give Brentwood Autos a shout. They are highly recommended by us.
That tailgate complete was $350, which when we looked, they go for a lot more than that. With that double opening, separate glass.
They have really looked after us.
They have, yeah. Then we got rear seat base, £100.
Can I mention that again?
Yeah.
Guy had the rear seat base and the two back uprights on there, £185 starting bid, no bids. And I messaged him and said, look, it's going to be a nightmare to post that. We only want the base. What would you take for it, and throw the rest basically away? And he said he's £100 all right plus postage. So I said, and that, I mean, we got lucky finding that, I think.
Then we've got boot carpet in two pieces. We've got one, again, came from Brentwood's. And that was...
He actually sent it to me because when I was there buying the boot and some other bits, he said, do you want anything else? And I said, no. He said, are you sure? I said, no. And then I rang him up and said, I really need that carpet. And he actually sent it to us free of charge. So thank you again.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And then we've got the second part, which is that longer piece, if that makes sense.
eBay.
£70.39. Then we've got the rear panel inner, and that is the bit that, I don't know, what would you call it, the shut, the jam?
Yeah, the kick plate.
Yeah, the kick plate. $32.99. You found that on eBay, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because that was quite expensive new, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Mirror glasses, two of, £20.69 each. That comes out $41.38. Parking sensor, £50. Rear bumper trims and one reflector. So that's everything really in the back bumper, isn't it?
Cheap.
From the dealer, $113.50 for all four items.
Do you remember when I rang up and ordered it? I said, are you sure? When he told me the price, I said, are you sure?
Yeah.
He's like, no, they are cheap. So,
and then we've got paint, sealer, sound deadening that I used.
Yeah.
I've put down £100 for that.
That's
it's
fair.
Best guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then we've got paint shop, £600. MOT, £40. Valet, £30. Wheel refurb, £260. And wheel alignment, £40.
Yeah.
And I think that is everything we've done.
Yeah, there was no damage on anything else, was there?
So that comes out at a grand total of £12,223.67.
What a lovely car for a lovely, lovely price.
Yeah, a lot of car for that money, isn't it? And you have been doing a little bit of research.
Yeah, I've been through eBay. There's quite a few on there. There's a Cat S one on there currently in blue.
Yeah, 18 and a bit.
It is 18,000 something. But
we looked, didn't we? Or you looked and showed me, and they're all around the low to mid 20s, aren't they? Like depending on mileage, spec.
23 up to 26, 27 grand.
Yeah.
So
So we've gone with a sale price of £16,000, which,
of course, leaving enough in it for the next man.
and the cheapest one in the country.
Definitely.
By a country mile.
By a country mile, yeah.
And that gives us a pre-tax profit of £3,776.33p. We'll take that all day long.
Not to be sneezed at all.
No.
Well, there's only been a few videos on it, but we've got so much done in the... I think we always get so much done in every video anyway.
Yeah.
But we're really happy with that, and that is another beautiful car back on the road where it belongs.
Yeah.
There was a few little extra bits, like when it arrived, it had two mirror glasses sellotaped in it, which we wasn't expecting. Of course, there was the rat damage, but we wasn't expecting the back seat.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we haven't put in that numbers.
Go on.
Copart give us 280 quid back.
They did.
It's just come to my mind.
They did.
It's the first time we've ever moaned about something.
They did.
And they actually give us £280 back.
Yes, that's right.
So we actually ended up with £4 grand pre-tax profit, which is very, very nice.
Yeah.
that is going to be the end of today's video and the end of the series on the BMW Touring estate.
Yep.
Is it an estate car?
320
320 Touring. If you did enjoy it, as usual, we'd appreciate that thumbs up. If you want to follow us on our other socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, the links for them are in the description down below. Don't forget to leave, your comments and your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.